All right, get ready to check in to a place that's going to stretch your mind and probably bend your whole sense of logic. We're talking about Hilbert's Hotel, one of the most famous, most mind-bending thought experiments in all of mathematics. And trust me, it gets weird. So here's the puzzle. It sounds simple, but it is a real head-scratcher. Imagine a hotel with a room for every single counting number. 1, 2, 3, a million, a billion, just on and on forever. Now imagine it's completely full. Every single room has a guest. The vacancy sign is on. So how on earth do you make space for even one more person? Okay, let's set the scene. Welcome to the Grand Hilbert Hotel. This whole idea comes from the brilliant mind of mathematician David Hilbert. And its main feature? It has an infinite number of rooms all lined up one after another forever. And this is the crucial part, the detail that makes it a paradox. That no vacancy sign is lit up bright. Every room, from room 1 all the way out to room infinity, is occupied. Now, our everyday brain, our intuition, just tells us, hey, full is full, there's no more space. Or is there? Well, this is where it starts to get really interesting. A new guest walks up to the front desk hoping for a room. You and I would think they're completely out of luck, but the hotel manager, who, understands the bizarre rules of infinity, isn't worried one bit. So right now, your brain is probably screaming, it's impossible. You can't put more stuff in a container that's already full. But the manager, he just smiles, picks up the hotel-wide intercom, and makes a very, very peculiar announcement. The solution is actually beautiful in its simplicity. Here's what he does. First, he asks the guest in room 1 to please move down the hall to room 2. Then, he asks the guest who was in room 2 to move to room 3. You can see where this is going. Every guest currently in a room, let's call it room N, is asked to move one door down to room N+1. And since there are infinite rooms, there's always a next room. It creates this perfect domino effect all the way down the infinite hallway. And just like that, poof, room 1 is now empty. Problem solved. But hold on, the night is just getting started. Just as our new guest is unpacking, a bus pulls up outside. And this isn't just any old bus. It's an infinitely long bus carrying an infinite number of new guests. Okay, now it feels like we're in real trouble. This really feels like the breaking point, doesn't it? I mean, moving everyone over by one, that kind of made sense. But how in the world do you create an infinite number of empty rooms in a hotel that is already infinitely full? It seems impossible. But the manager? He's totally unfazed. The manager's next trick is even more elegant. It's just genius. He gets back on the intercom and asks every current guest in room N to please move to room 2 times N. So the guest in room 1 moves to room 2, the guest in room 2 moves to room 4, the guest from room 3 moves to room 6, and so on. In one simple move, he's placed all the original guests into only the even-numbered rooms. And what does that leave wide open? You got it. All of the odd-numbered rooms. An entire infinity of empty rooms ready for the infinite guests from the bus. This little table here really clarifies the manager's incredible logic. Just look at it. For any of the original guests, we'll just call them guest K. They move to room 2K. And for any of the new guests arriving from the bus, we'll also call them guest K. They get assigned to room 2K-1. It's a perfect one-to-one system. Nobody's left without a room. No two guests are in the same room. We have successfully folded one infinity right into another. It's amazing. So you're probably wondering, where did this kind of magical math even come from? This isn't just some clever riddle, right? It's actually a fantastic way to understand a huge shift in how mathematicians started to think about the very idea of infinity itself. For centuries, pretty much everyone, including thinkers like Aristotle, totally rejected the idea of a completed infinity. They saw it as just a process, something that never ends. But then in the late 1800s, a mathematician named Georg Cantor came along and did something revolutionary. He started treating infinity like a real object you could actually work with. It was wild, it was controversial. So then, decades later, David Hilbert came up with this hotel story as a way to make Cantor's strange, abstract ideas feel real and concrete. And this concept, actual infinity, that's the absolute key that unlocks this whole paradox. It's this wild idea that you can take an infinite collection of things, like all the even numbers or all the guests in the hotel, and treat it as a single completed thing. Once you allow yourself to do that, the weird logic of the hotel suddenly starts to click into place. Now look, if this whole thing still feels deeply weird and, counterintuitive, that's okay. It really should. Your brain is working perfectly. The whole point of the paradox is to show you this amazing clash between our everyday intuition and the cold, hard, beautiful logic of mathematics. Yeah, this slide just nails that clash perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the rules of our everyday, finite world. The world we're built for. A full box is full. A whole pizza is always, always bigger than a single slice. But then, on the right, you have the logic of infinite sets, the world of pure math. In that world, a full hotel can always make more room, and a part of the set, like all the even numbers, is somehow the same size as the whole thing. It's mind-bending. I love this quote because it gets right to the heart of it all. Hilbert's Hotel doesn't show us that math is broken. Not at all. It shows us that our own intuition has a blind spot. Our common sense is a tool that was built to navigate our physical, finite world, and it's just not equipped to handle the absolutely boundless scale of infinity. So, as we check out of this truly bizarre hotel, what's the lesson we should take with us? What does this all really, really mean for us? Well, here are the big takeaways. First, infinity isn't just a big number you can't get to. It's a totally different kind of concept that plays by its own rules. Second, it proves that in the realm of the infinite, a part can be just as big as the whole thing. And maybe most importantly, it's a powerful lesson that our common sense has limits. To explore ideas that are way beyond our daily experience, we need a more powerful tool, rigorous logic. And that kind of leaves us with one last big idea to think about. This hotel paradox shows us a reality that our senses and our gut feelings just can't comprehend, but that our minds, using logic, can. And it really makes you wonder, what other incredible truths about our universe are out there, waiting for us, hiding just beyond the limits of our common sense?